using all this disk for mass storage. Okay, and many systems today need to store many terabytes of data, right? So if you see the history of our storage capacity, it is exponentially increasing. Now we are talking in terms of terabytes rather than in terms of GB and all, right? So the main problem is when we have this mass storage requirement, we generally don't want to rely on a single large disk, right? Why? Because the first thing is it is very expensive. The more the capacity, the more the cost is. The second disadvantage is if it fails. Okay, if you rely on only one single large disk and if the disk fails, the entire data is lost. Okay, you are in the danger. Okay, so it is always preferable to use many smaller disks rather than a single large disk. Okay, so if you required a space of suppose 100 terabyte, instead of using one hard disk of 100 terabyte, it is advisable to use maybe 50 hard disk of 2 terabytes. Okay, and this is actually followed by it will actually comes under disk management techniques. So there is a architecture, or you can say a structure called RAID, which is followed by companies. What do we mean by this structure? So in this structure, you know what happened, there are physical presence of multiple small inexpensive disk. Okay, and this multiple small inexpensive disks are combined into one logical disk, large disk. Are you getting my point? Internally they are different disks, but logically you can assume that this is one disk. Okay, and this is what when the companies are developing this hard disk, they will keep into consideration. Okay, so let's have a deeper look into what this RAID architecture is. The full form of RAID is redundant array of inexpensive disk. Okay, and which means that we are having multiple physical inexpensive disk under one logical unit, right? And the basic idea is to connect multiple disks together to provide large storage capacity. If each disk is of 2 TB, then we have actually 8 TB of data storage. Faster access to read data. Okay, since we have already seen reading and writing is very expensive, if we arrange somehow our disk into this manner, we can do parallel reading from different disks, parallel writing to different disks. Okay, so faster access to reading data, and then we have also can maintain the redundancy. Okay, somehow we can maintain the backup sort of a thing in order to increase the redundancy of the data. Okay, so let's have a look at this RAID systems. Now there are different levels of RAID systems. Okay, so we will look from 0 to 5, and then we will have a look at RAID level 10. So now these different levels are different in the redundancy they provide, in the error checking facility they provide, in the capacity of the hard disk that can be used, and also the cost. Okay, so based on these four parameters, we will see how the different levels of RAID differ from each other. Okay, so let's start. Before starting this, let me give you some idea about the terminologies that we will going to use while studying the RAID structure. The first such terminology is stripping. Okay. What do you mean by stripping? Stripping means take a file, okay, so suppose this is our file, and divide the file and map the data into different disk. This is what stripping is. Okay, so this file data, suppose it is having this much data from here to here, we will divide this into blocks. If you remember, what do we mean by block? Generally, one sector stores one block of data, right? It may be 512 bytes to 4 KB depending upon the architecture of the computer. So what we will do, we will divide the blocks, the file into different blocks or different chunks basically. Here we are using blocks, and then each block will go into different disk. Okay, something like that. So when we are doing such type of operation, this is called stripping. Okay, we are dividing the file into smaller pieces and each piece will go into different disk. What is the benefit of stripping? It allows multiple read of data. It allows parallel reading of data. So suppose you have to read the file and the entire file is stored in only one disk, then you have to perform 4 disk accesses to read the entire file. Okay, but here you can exploit the parallel mechanism and have one parallel access to all the 4 disks and your file is read. Okay, so reading can be significantly improved in case of stripping. Okay, so this is first thing that you have to keep in mind. The second thing is parity. Now, what do we mean by parity? As we already talked about, that we need some sort of error checking facility also, along with the redundancy and increase in the speed. So parity is one way to check error and correct error. Okay, now in this case we will use a very basic idea of parity. So whenever we store data, it is definitely in the form of zeros and ones. Okay. So we will add all the bits that are 1. If we have even number of 1, we set the parity bit to 0. If we have odd number of ones, we will set parity bit to 1. This is nothing but an exclusive OR operation. Okay, so let me draw the truth table of exclusive OR. Suppose X and Y are 2 bits and this is XOR. This is sign for XOR operation. If both are 1, okay, X XOR Y is 0. If X is 1 and Y is 0, X XOR Y is 1. If this is 0, this is 1, this is 1, and this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Okay, so basically the idea is if we are having even number of ones, in this case 2, in this case 0, if we have even number of ones, the XOR will give you 0. If you have odd number of ones, XOR will give you 1. Okay, and this simple operation we will use to store the parity information. All right, so this also help us in error correction. So error checking can be done by it. Okay, so we will recalculate the parity bit. If it is matching with what is stored, we can say that there is no error in the data. If it does not match, we can say that some of the bits will flip. How it is used in error correction? So there are few operations which you can perform to reconstruct the original data. Okay, so there is only one bit flip. You can recognize which is the disk which is at the fault, that is at the fault, and you can flip the bit which is stored at that disk. Okay, so in that sense, it is this parity is used for error checking and correction. Okay, and there is one more notion which is mirroring. Mirroring means nothing but make the exact copy of the data. This is called mirroring. Okay, so suppose I am having a hard disk, say disk 0. Copy everything which is written in this disk to another disk, say 1. Okay, so this is called mirroring. These two disks are mirror of each other. Okay, so mirroring means keeping copies of data into 2 separate disks. It gives good error recovery because if one disk fails, we can get all the data from another disk. But definitely it is expensive. Why? Because suppose this is 2 TB of disk, we need double the space to make the mirror. Okay, write performance can be slow because when you have to write something on the disk, you have to write 2 times. Okay, you need to write in both the disk, whereas read performance increase because you can do parallel reading. Okay, so this is what mirroring is. Now let's start talking about the read levels, right? So first consider read level 0. This is the simplest level we have. This is often called stripping. In this, we only use one concept, that is stripping. What we will do, we will break the file into blocks of data, okay, and stripe the blocks across disk in the system. So generally in level 0, we use two disks, okay. So this is disk 0, this is disk 1. What we will do, we will stripe the file, okay. All the even blocks will go into disk 0, all the odd blocks will go into disk 1. Okay, so simple concept. Block number modulo number of disk. Depending upon the disk number, we will store the data. Okay, so this is the simplest form. So if we are having two disk, all the even will go in one disk and all the odd will go in one disk. Similarly, we can identify the sector number. Okay, so file block divided by number of disks will give you the sector number, and accordingly you will store the information. Okay, so this is a very basic RAID architecture which is proposed. Okay, level 0. Does it perform any redundancy? Yes, no? Does it perform any research, provide any redundancy of data?
Ma'am, only those blocks are stored that are in the file, so there should not be any redundancy.
There is no redundancy, right? Because if suppose this disk goes off, there is no way to recollect, these data. Okay, so the problem with level 0 is it provides no redundancy and no error correction. Okay, but it is important to consider this level because it is having low mean time to failure, because we have divided the data into two disk. Okay, so definitely it will increase the mean time to failure a bit, but there is no redundancy and no error correction. Okay, so it is simple stripping of a file into two disk. Okay, then comes next level, level 1. In this, what we will do, a complete file is stored on a single disk, no stripping. Okay, and then we will make a second disk which is the exact copy of this first disk, right? So it provides complete redundancy of data. Read performance is increased because now data can be read in parallel from these two disks, but write performance suffers. Why? Because now you have to write in both the disks. Okay, and this is most expensive RAID implementation. Why? Because it requires twice as much as storage space, right? So this is the diagram. Okay, so in this we will store entire file into one disk and copy it into another disk. So these two disks are mirror of each other. Okay, there is a high redundancy. If any of this disk fails, you can get the entire data from the second disk, no issues in that. Write performance suffers, read performance increase. Yes, simple. Okay, then let's come to RAID level 2. Now in level 2, somehow we try to combine few concepts, right? So we will go with the striping of data. So we stripes the data across disk similar to level 0, but the only difference is now we are not do stripping block wise, we will do it bitwise. Okay, so the data is bit interleaved instead of block interleaved, and each bit will go on different disk. Okay, so this is it requires lots and lots of space. What we do in level 2, so Okay, so in level 2, suppose we are using 4 disk. Each block will stored in all the disk. Okay, so we will store some bits here. Suppose A0, A1, A2, A3. Okay, so A is suppose block 0. Then we have B as block 2. So we will one bit B0 will stored here, B1 is stored here, B2 stored here, B4 stored here, something like that. Okay, so each block is stored in all these disks. Along with this disk, we have some error correction ECC disk also, which will store information only about ECC, error correcting port, of all these 4 disk, data disk. And we have one more disk which is related to parity disk. Okay, so in level 2, ECC used to monitor the correctness of information on the disk. Multiple disks record the ECC information to define which disk is in fault. Okay, so as I am telling you, this parity will let you know which disk is at the fault. Okay, and once you know that which disk is at the fault, we can reconstruct the corrupted data that is lost. Okay, so in the error correction part, this is highly advisable, but still it is very expensive, because if you have 4 data disk, you need few more data disk to just store the correctness information or error recovery information. Okay, so this diagram shows that you need ECC and parity disk separately than data disk, and each block is divided on all the data disk that is available. Okay, so how we can reconstruct the data? So assume the data is striped across 8 disks. Suppose there are 8 disks, and each block, each bit will go on one disk. Okay, and parity bit says it is 0. Now the data once read it, the data comes as this. Okay, so this and this data is different. Okay, now if we can determine that disk 2 is at the fault, what we will do, we will flip the bit that is taken from that disk and get the original one. Okay, so we can reconstruct the data if there is some error using level 2. Okay, but what are the disadvantages? Okay, so one more advantage is it requires fewer disks than level 1 to provide redundancy. So this is also, level 2 is also providing us redundancy, right? Because of this ECC and parity disk, we can reconstruct the lost data. Okay, and in that sense, it requires fewer disks than level 1. In level 1, if you have 4 data disks, you require 4 backup disks to make mirror of each other. But in this case, some lesser disks are required. So if you have 10 data disks, you require 4 check disk plus 1 parity disk. Okay, it goes something like power of 2 plus 1, something like that. So if you have 4 data disk, you require 2 check disk plus 1 parity disk. If you have 8 data disk, you require 3 plus 1, 3 check disk plus 1 parity disk. If you have 10, you require 4 plus 1. Okay, something like that. So yes, so this is level 2. Now what is the problem? So the big problem is performance. Okay, so while reading, you have to read, first of all, you have to read ECC plus parity plus data disk. Okay, if you have to write anything, you have to modify ECC disks also, parity disk also, and the data disk. Okay, another problem is when you have to read, okay, you have to read all the disk. Even if you want to read one block A, you have to read all the disk. Why? Because there is only one bit which you can get from one disk. So in order to construct a block, you have to read all the 4 disks or 8 disks, whichever is there. Okay, so performance wise, this is not good. You cannot do multiple read, because in a single read all blocks are involved, all disks are involved. So you cannot do parallel reading, you cannot do parallel writing. Okay, because for a single write, again all the disks are involved, so you cannot do parallel writing. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, now let's come to level 3. In level 3, it is same as level 2. The only thing which is observed is this. So in level 2, the disk needed to detect which disk has an error is something, you have to check the error code and you have to identify. But it has been observed that in all the modern disk, we already have ECC code for each sector, right? We have already seen that. We have ECC code for each sector. So the disk itself knows, okay, that which, like I am at the fault. Okay, I am the disk who is at the fault. So there is no need to keep separate ECC disk. Okay, so the only difference between level 2 and level 3 is, so this is level 2. In level 3, they removed these 2 disks. They removed all ECC disk. So there is data disk and parity disk. So one disk is dedicated for parity, which will keep the parity record of all the data disk. Okay, this is the only difference. Rest everything is same. Right, so we just need to include parity disk. If sector is bad, the disk itself tell us and use the parity disk to correct it. Okay, so this is level 3. All right, now let's come to level 4, and this is quite interesting, level. So the big problem that we have faced in level 2 and level 3. Okay, so one more thing. In level 3, no parallel read is done. Why? Why no parallel read can be done? Yes. In level 3 also, no parallel reading can be done. No parallel writing can be done. Why? Anyone? The reason is same. Okay, these are bit interleaved, right? Remember? So each block is divided into all the disk. So if you are performing reading of a block, you have to access all the disk. So if the disk are already serving a request of one block reading, you cannot read another block. Okay, and this is true for both level 2 and level 3. So this is the big problem in level 2 and level 3. In level 4, we overcome this problem. Okay, so in level 2 and level 3, to access a single file block of data, you have to access all the disk. Okay, so for a single access, it is good. In parallel, you are reading a single block, but when you have to do multiple IO, it is very poor. Okay, so in 4, what they will do, it allow multiple small IO to be done at one by stripping the file into blocks rather than bits. Okay, and it will still use single disk of parity. Now parity is calculated over multiple blocks. Okay, in level 2 and 3, parity is calculated for over a single block, because a single block is divided into multiple disks and parity is calculated over that. So it is actually over single block. Whereas in case of level 4, it is calculated over multiple blocks. Okay, So if an error detected, we need to read other blocks and the parity block, and we can reconstruct the data. Okay, so rest everything is same. So this diagram will give you a very good picture of the difference between level 2, 3 and level, so basically level 3 and level 4. Okay. Okay. So let's assume that these are four blocks A, B, C, D. These are four blocks and these are divided into bits 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And this is L3 or level 3. This is disk 0, disk 1, disk 2, and disk 3. And this is L3 parity disk. Similarly, level 4, we have disk 0, disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, and we have this L4 parity disk. Okay. In case of L3, how we store the data? It will store bit by bit. So this is one block, A block. A0 is stored in disk 0. A1 will stored in disk 1, then A2 in disk 2, and A3 in disk 3. Okay, and how parity is calculated? So A0, A1, A2, A3 parity is calculated for A, and it is stored here. Similarly, we will go to next block. B0 is stored here, B1 is stored here, B2 is stored here, B3, and parity is calculated over this block and stored here. This is how level 3 works. How level 4 works? In level 4, the entire A block is stored in one disk, entire B block is stored in another disk, C and D block. Okay, and parity is calculated over multiple blocks. So this parity is calculated for A0, B0, C0, and D1, and it is stored here. Okay, similarly for 1, for 2, and for the third bit, fourth bit. Okay, so this is the difference. So how we are at the advantage if we use level 4? Reads are simple to understand. If you want to read block A, you have to just go to disk 0 and read the entire block. Okay, if there is an error, okay, what you have to do, you have to read block B, C, D and the parity block, and then you can reconstruct the correct data of A. Right, this is the advantage. This is how it provides the redundancy. If this block is or this disk is damaged, you can read these blocks and parity and reconstruct the data of disk 0. Okay, what about writes? Now you may think of that if I have to if I have to do write operation in a one particular disk or one particular block, I have to change. Again, I have to calculate all the blocks in order to change the parity bit. Yes, but actually this is not true. In case of write, if you want to change one block, this is a way in which you can change the parity or calculate the parity, new parity. It requires just 2 reads and 2 write operation. Okay, and how it could be done? So I will just give you a simple example. Suppose disk 1, you have to change the data. Okay, it is stored 0000 on disk 1. Okay, and in the parity disk, suppose it is stored 0. Okay, now from 000 we have to change data to this. Okay, so this is the new data. So it is not required. So parity is calculated by looking at all the disk, right? Disk 0, disk 1, disk 2, disk 3. Okay, whatever is the parity, it is written. Now if you want to update one particular part of the disk, what you have to do, you have to just read the old data and old parity. These are the 2 reads that you have to do. Okay, just read the old data and old parity, then perform XOR operation of old data and new data. So if I, this is the old data 0000, if I do XOR with, let's say 0101, what I will get? I will again get 0. Okay, if it is this, then I will get 1. Okay, Okay, so let's assume it is this. I will get 1. Okay, and then do XOR of this with the old parity, that is 0. So this will give you 1. Okay, and you just update the parity bit. So you have to do 2 read and 2 write operation, right? You have to write this new data. This is the 1 write, and you have to update the parity bit. This is the second write operation. And for reading, you have to read old data and old parity. With this, you can calculate, the write operation. So level 4 is quite interesting. Reading also it is improving, writing also it is improving, right? And it allow us to do the things in parallel also, because each operation is using a separate. Okay, so talking about parallel thing, we have to be little careful here. Now doing multiple small read is now faster than before. Okay, but what about write are still slow. Why? Because you have to calculate and do the parity blocks and all. The main problem is, while writing, is it allows only one write at a time. Why one write at a time? Now you may say that, madam, since it is a different block, we will write in different disk, we can write in parallel. The problem is there is only one check disk. The parity disk is only one. So each write requires this parity disk access. Okay, and therefore this allow us to do only one write at a time. Okay, so this is the problem with level 4. And interestingly, in level 5 we will just overcome this problem, okay, by dividing the file data or stripping the file data as well as the check data over all the disk. Okay, so there is no longer a single check disk. Like in level 4, till level 4 there is only one parity disk. Now we don't have a single parity disk. Okay, this is the bottleneck in writing, so we will remove this. And the parity disk will also stripe over all the disk. Okay, and this will drastically improve the performance of multiple writes. We can now do read and write in parallel. Okay, so let me show you with the diagram. So this is level 4 and this is level 5. Okay, in level 4 we are having only this single disk, which is dedicated for storing the check disk information or parity information. In level 5, this information can be spread out. So for example, for sector 0, the parity information will be stored in disk 5. For sector 1, it is stored in disk 4. For sector 2, it is stored in disk 3. For sector 3, it is stored in this. And for sector 4, it is stored in disk 1. Okay. Now, suppose, okay, so let's talk about level 4. If you have to do these two write operations, okay, sector 2 disk 2 write and sector 1 disk 3 write, can we do these two writes in parallel in case of level 4? No. Why no? Because while writing this, we are accessing disk number 5. And while writing this also, we need this access 5. Okay? We cannot do parallel writing. Now, if same happens in level 5, can we do it in parallel? Yes, we can do. Suppose this is write 1. So write 1 need two disk number 2 and disk number 5. Okay, so this require 1 2 and 5, whereas write 2 requires disk number 3 and 4. Okay, and since this is exclusive, we can use it in parallel. So these two writes can be done in parallel. Okay, so it drastically improves the write performance over level 4. Okay, so this is about level 5. Okay, now so this is actually best of all the worlds. Okay, so read write performance is close to red level 1, and it can utilize as much as space as 3 and 4 can use. Okay, the problem with level 1 is space. Storage space is just half because of the redundancy. Okay, but in level 5 we can overcome the problem and it is the best of all the worlds actually. Okay. Then there are multiple levels which are proposed, like level 10, which is nothing but a combination of level 1 and 2. Sorry, 0 and 1. Okay. So there are many levels. There is level 5 and 0. Okay, which will combine level 5 and level 0. So let me show you how we can combine level 0 and 1. So in this, what people do is, so level 0 is stripping out the data and level 1 is making the mirror. Okay, so they use two disks, disk 0, disk 1, and then two more disks, disk 3, disk 4. Okay, now these two are mirror of each other. These two are mirror of each other. Okay, so this is nothing but level 1 in itself, right? Level 1, and then they will combine this to make level 2, level 0, and in level 0 means, so there is this file data. Okay, block 0, block 1, block 2, block 4, and this is divided, stripe against block. So block 0, 2, and yes, 0 and 2 goes here, block 1 and block 3 will go here. Okay, and this is the exact copy. So b2 and b0 and b2 copied in this disk, and b1 and b3 copied in this. So this is nothing but level 0 1 or 1 0, whatever you call it. Okay, so something like this, combining level 0 and level 1. So if we have read level 50 means we are combining level 5 and level 0. Okay, so there are different RAID levels which are available. Yes, any question in this?